What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Elf Knight FF here, bringing you another Call of Duty Black Ops 3 strategy vid. This time we're doing Safeguard Redwood, and normally I break it up into offense and defense, but I didn't gather that many defensive clips, so I'll cover defense, but most of the clips you're going to be seeing today is offense. So Redwood is one of those maps, it's one of the two maps. Hunted and Redwood are maps where, it's not a matter of if you're going to score, but when you're going to score, just because I feel like offense is just not too easy, but it just gives you a very good advantage just because the map is kind of it's relatively big. So you kill one or two defenders and you've got three guys by the robot, you're going to be able to push it really quickly very far. And it's very hard to get stuck in the beginning, or not beginning, but those very important points, the VIP points I often talk about. Here's one right there. It's around the corner in your initial spawn. But as long as you take 3 or 4 guys and you get rid of the guy in the top rock, you basically, he's going to score it easily. And once you get it past that, it's in the middle. And of course, that's extremely easy to score, just because look how many open space there is. Like, look, I just ran through the middle, killed one guy, and look, I'm picking off everyone just because the map is so spread out. It allows you to attack many entry points. So in my opinion, Redwood is one of those maps where it's not a map, a moment of when you're going to score. I mean, how you're going to score, but when you're going to score. Just because towards the end you're going to see that it does get pretty chaotic when you're in the enemy spawn, and that is pretty much the defense's best chance of holding you up. But if we're going to talk strategies, I do have a couple strategies. My opening route is basically, surprisingly, I do like to hug the middle actually. Normally I suggest never going straight, straight through the middle. But on a big map like this, sometimes flanks aren't worth it. As you see here, I'm gonna go on the flank, but sometimes it's just not worth it because you may take 30 seconds to completely get around the flank, and by that time the enemies have died a couple of times too, and while that's happening, they may be coming out of their spawn and pretty much they're on your flank now, just because you check the corner, like for how I'm checking right here, but they may spawn in like 3 seconds just because I'm in their spawn, and just because the robot is very far away and all my teammates are over there too. So I like to go straight in the middle, hit up this bunker right here, just because if you can control this bunker, you pretty much control the map. This is the most important area in the map in my opinion, just because you look at the lookout, you pretty much can control this whole area, and you can also cover the back too, and it gives you plenty of time to turn on enemies, especially if you have a good setup with like trip mines and shock chargers and things like that. But as you get towards the middle, you control that area. In the beginning of the game, really just get it out of that spawn as quick as you possible, as quick as possible, just because sometimes if you're if you don't have enough guys by the robot, it will take a while, especially if everyone is trying to kill Horde, and especially if they're all trying to get on the flank and it takes them forever just to get 2 kills. And okay, so another suggestion, if you do hit up that quick right flank, or not flank, but I guess the right route on the beginning of the map, do be wary of the possible guys head glitching on the rock. If you're going to do that, I highly suggest you run there, you bust your ass, get there as quick as you can, because you want to take the position and control that bridge over the water. It is very important you get to it first, because you're going to have a back and forth battle between killing someone and then having them come back and try and kill you. And as long as you've got the better head glitch spot, you're going to be an advantage majority of the time, especially if your teammates are moving the robot and you're putting a lot more pressure on the defensive players to do something else. And here you can see this is the most crazy, hectic part of the final stage of the offense, just because you see them all spawning. There's a very huge radius or area for which they can spawn. They can spawn in this house, they can spawn all the way back in the map, and it really just takes careful shooting. You don't want to go all the way out and just die really quickly. But I mean, it's just okay. See, that's my defensive strategy. So I waited because I knew he was coming. We had the UAV support, and look, he comes back and kills me. It's basically how it goes. It's head glitch versus head glitch, and better pinpoint accuracy. And that's how it's gonna work on big maps like this. Class setups I suggest running. I would suggest running some. Pretty much what I'm running right here, the M8 A7 is okay. You can run the XR2, I think, the other burst fire, but I do suggest running assault rifles just because you don't want to waste your bullets. There's going to be a lot of guys coming at once, and you really want to be pinpoint accurate, especially in this map. Whenever you run big maps, you really want to run the assault rifles. That does sometimes push your disadvantage against SMGs. But you know what? What I like to do is drop shotting. I really do like to drop shot with assault rifles. I don't do it that often with SMGs just because I normally have, you know, the advantage in close battles anyways. But if you do have an assault rifle, I would practice I suggest practicing the drop shotting, or you run a really good pistol. The L card is a good one, or a good specialist. As you can see, I was running the war machine, which I basically just run through people with it, and that's pretty much all I use it for. Get a good 3 feed. That's all. 3 feed with 6 bombs. That's good enough for me. And yep, that's basically it for this map. I think I have some hunted. I think I have some other gameplays, but overall, it's very common, very simple strategy. Control this middle area, and you basically control the match. It's not a matter. Remember, it's not a matter how or if you're going to score, but when you're going to score. You have to win the offensive rounds. It is key that you win the offensive rounds, especially in this map. If you don't, you're going to be in a huge, huge disadvantage, especially on defense. So if you do get offense first, consider it lucky. Sometimes I normally like to play defense first, but for this map, offense first is very important, just because you do want to start that 1-0 lead, and it also allows you to get really high kills. This is for me. This is actually just one game. I had 80 kills, I think, this one game. 60 kills maybe, because if I had 80, I would have uploaded the whole thing. But yeah, this is one of the maps, along with Hunted, that allows you to really get the high kills. So if you do run high kill streaks, maybe not aerial, just because the trees do block everything. But if you can run, maybe I'd suggest the Talon if you're gonna run something aerial, and maybe the Cerberus, just so you can place it in the enemy spawn and have them really mess things up for the enemy. UAVs are always good if you can run, just because it is very hard to shoot down the UAVs in this map because the trees do block out the sky. And what else would I suggest? I would suggest no shotguns. Please don't run a shotgun unless you really do want to get in that flank. If you do get in that flank, just be prepared. You're only going to get 1 or 2 kills here and there, as I'm doing right now. See, I went all the way around. I'm not picking off that many people, right? Was that really worth it? Maybe, to secure positioning. Maybe not. You see, it's just things like that you're going to have to be wary of. Flanking, you would think it's the optimal thing in this game, in this map, but in my opinion, it really isn't, just because, as long as you can stay by the robot, you're pretty much in the spot you want to be anyways. And if you can control this middle area, you're where you want to be also. So thanks for watching as always. Good luck to you guys on Shoutout Saturday. Have a good one. Happy New